Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Sorry about that. So tech issues have been resolved, and here we are. Really quick, let's pop in because we've got people in the chat. Derek Hoover, hello. He says, "Hey ho, you crazy kids." It's true. And then we have our very own CJ, titular heroine. Hello, CJ. And where was it? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you should post a picture of that later. And hello, Rolando. Lovely to see you. And hello, Nolan. We are late, but we have arrived because Nolan just popped in. So, huzzah. All right. Anyway, sorry again, everyone. Tech issues. It's hot in most parts of the world, and that sometimes means tech issues. So I am working on a Skeletor and Evelyn that I mean to color every time we do this, and then I never finish the other page I'm working on. So I decided I would just start a fresh page today for our stream and work on this one. And then what are you going to color, Cob?
I found this on that trap jaw. That was really cool. Took it to work though and could not get print and center. I don't know why. It was the way that I downloaded. We tried everything. So. A little to the side.
If the original JPEG or the picture file is a little off, it'll sometimes print oddly. So it's really, it takes a little bit to get that fixed with printers.
But I just taking a picture and I sent it to my supervisor, and at the end of the night she'll print something out for me. But she tried and tried and tried.
Yeah, sometimes you have to literally open it with like Photoshop and recenter it and change the size. And trust me, that's why I just started buying coloring books and scanning them myself, because I would find stuff on the internet that was completely just wait, what is it? No, the kids don't say whack, so it was completely whack. And then I would try to fix it and it just wouldn't work. So
I do got double, so got something to practice on.
Excellent. So it's been a while since we've gotten to hang out. How is everything?
Oh, busy. Lots changing at work, so
yeah,
we've done a few months ago. Went through to a new boss. They brought a guy from corporate who took over, kind of booted my boss out.
Oh.
Now, for some reason, two of the day supervisors, they keep saying they're on vacation, but people are telling me they're like under investigation or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of rumors, work rumors, but they haven't been in. And then another guy that does the technician stuff with me, all the machine work, like the main guy, he just quit coming. So they bumped me up to lead technician now. Now I'm in charge of all the new kids training and doing everything pretty much myself. I'm doing like 3 people's jobs right now.
That sounds like that sounds like most jobs now.
Yeah, a little stressful, but
well, if the day guy, if there's some sort of scandal and they're doing an investigation, often they're on vacation until they can basically get enough together to
who that is though. I mean, these are supervisors I've known for years, and the one I could give a shit less about, but the one that I've known and is good friends with, I'm like,
yeah,
I'd hate to see anything with her gone. I think the place will fall apart without her, actually.
That sometimes happens. Yeah. So, well, that sounds like a lot. So I'm glad we were able to line up and hang out and color and chill. So.
Yeah, I needed her now, I think. Between that and then I've had car problems again. I had them not that long back. I paid a good couple grand to get it all back to working.
Yeah.
And I've had little minor things since then that are driving me nuts.
That's kind of how it is. Like one thing, especially with cars, like one thing will go a little awry, and then the next thing you know, A lot of things will go awry.
Yeah, since I have a foreign Volkswagen Jetta, it's a little more difficult to fit to a
If
guy who
that
supposedly works on those, but I swear he's just a YouTube mechanic.
well, that's also around the time, like, because once upon a time with older VWs, you basically can easily repair like older ones yourself. But it was around the time of the Jetta where it stopped being like that, where it's really easy just to sort of DIY the repairs
Yeah.
on them. It used to be why VW buds are so popular with college kids, because it's like you could basically fix them yourself and sort of pop them together and pop them apart. And it seems like some automaker would get back to making that sort of a car. But I guess those days are probably long gone, because like then you sell the car, but then like you just make sure that people can buy the parts. Let
Right?
that be
Yeah.
your business, I mean, at least you don't have a Cybertruck.
I know we have somebody that drives one there at the college, and I don't know who it is. I usually run past them. They're leaving when I'm getting there, and I'm just laughing to myself.
Whenever one of the last times I made a big trip between Portland and where we moved, like, because there are all the little things that you have to move out, like we did the moving truck for all the big stuff and most of it, but there's stuff you just don't put in a car, in a moving van, and like, so I had to make a couple little trips after, and to get all the utilities shut off and do the final walkthrough. And one of the last ones, I stopped in Eugene, Oregon, which is about sort of halfway between Portland and where we moved, so that I could, and it was one of the later trips where it was like after dark. I usually try, and as I've gotten older, I don't like driving after dark if I can help it. So I stopped in Eugene to get coffee at a Starbucks right after, it was like 7, 8 o'clock. And it was that weekend where they did the Cybertruck, the software update that bricked a bunch of people's cars. And as I was leaving Starbucks, I had to cut through a parking lot of a convenience store to get back, on the highway to get back home. And there was a guy stuck in the parking lot with his Cybertruck, and he was just crying into his phone because it had bricked. He had stopped the car and gone in to get like a Monster energy drink or something. And when he stopped it, the update went through and bricked it. So he was stuck there. And because those cars are made such a specific way, you can't just get anyone, like you can't get a tow from just anyone. And so he wasn't, and it was like late. It was like a Saturday or a Sunday. So he couldn't find anyone that late who could, that specialized in the Cybertruck. They could come and like tow it. He couldn't get anyone from, like Cybertruck software or what, customer service or whatever. And it was just, I wanted to feel bad for him, but I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend on a car that looks like, like somebody chromed a dumpster. And but he was also being such a, like I don't want this to sound, like a certain way, but like you often hear how hysterical and illogical women can be when things are bad. I'm just gonna tell you, until you've seen a grown-ass man melting down in a parking lot because the Cybertruck bricked on him and nobody will help him, and don't ever just say women are so emotional, because dude was having a meltdown like a toddler at the grocery store. So anyway, not to digress. Sorry guys, if anyone watching drives a Cybertruck, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm always thinking.
Don't want to offend you, but bad job. Oh yeah, Evelyn and Skeletor, and then I'm sorry. Let's see, Cobb is doing a trap jaw.
Oh.
So yep. Very nice chop jaw. I was going to print that out and do it, but I knew I would finish that one really quick. And like I said, every time you and I hang out, I want to do this page and never do. So
actually, I had that big box of colored pencils of my son's last time, and I think he took it to his mom's. I was like, oh, I'm back to my little crappy set.
You know, you've done pretty well with that. Well, you know, but Trap Jaw also has, you know, like there's not, you don't need a ton of colors for Trap Jaw.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
you
really missing like a lime green for like his belt.
If you have like a yellow and a light, green, and you go light, you could probably simulate it.
And I got it's kind of lime yellowish, so I was thinking mess with a couple colors.
And I do agree with you here, Derek Hoover. If kids like Cybertrucks, I get that. It's very much a truck like a 5 to 10-year-old would enjoy. So, hello, Frank. Lovely to see you. Welcome. And hello, Stanley Sweet Channel. Yeah, every so often I'll do a Friday or a Saturday night, especially when I'm trying to line up with the guest Stanley. Cob has a very specific work schedule right now, and he can't do Sundays. And Cob is one of my best friends. And we like hanging out. So, and coloring and just talking smack about Cybertrucks, obviously. So here we are. What do you do Friday night? I get on the internet and I color with my friends and we talk smack about ugly trucks.
There's that meme about those I've seen with there's a bunch of raccoons all on they're trying to break in because that was a dumpster.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have so many raccoons down at the college.
Like I've heard that.
I was talking about. I was like, oh man, he's gonna get broken into.
Right. I haven't seen footage of it yet, but I've heard people say that raccoons keep trying to break into those. So if somebody produces footage, I would be happy to say it's more than a meme. But unfortunately, at this time, there's not evidence. I do know sometimes I think I even maybe sent them to you at one point. But there was a guy who used to make, right when they came out, who was doing these videos about how easy it was with just like his hands and a hammer to tear one of them apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just took the back of the claw part of the hammer and was just like ripping the bumpers off and ripping the panel off. Like, they were like, it's bulletproof. And it's like he took the hammer and with like 3 or 4 whacks, like it smashed the windshield and the side windows. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, this is turning into a don't buy a Cybertruck episode. And that's not what we meant, people. It's just kind of how it works sometimes. Cobb and I have hung out enough that we just shoot the shit, as the people say. Ooh, I have heard really good things, Stanley, so I hope you enjoy it, because so far all of the people I trust that have seen Superman really, really liked it. Pound puppies, they were pretty cool. Yeah. I had pound pup. I had the little mini ones, and then I had a big one. My mom was very much about the pound puppies. She thought they were very cute, so we all had them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I see from here I have another thing of colored pencils in this drawer over here.
Okay.
Let's see what's in there. I didn't remember having those. So what's that?
Well, no, nothing wrong with unexpected art supplies. Yeah, I'm gonna go sometime next week or over the next weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I just rewatched a really good. It was on YouTube, of course, because why would you watch anything anywhere else anymore? I watched a really good documentary on, in my opinion, on Superman, the original one with Christopher Reeve. Oh gosh, let me see if I can find. I'm gonna find it and I will send a link in chat because I thought it was really well made.
I'm so sick of it. I watch all these movies and stuff, and the people that are just trying to get clicks or views or anything for reviewing movies and TV shows is just so horrible now.
Yeah.
The reason we don't get second seasons of things and all this, or people don't even go to the theaters because they watch these reviews and everybody just craps on everything.
Yeah, it's really just I don't watch for new movies, I don't watch anything anymore. Like,
Yeah, because I was just scrolling through YouTube and I just watched that the Ironheart show. It's a new Marvel TV show, and I really liked it. It was so good, and just I saw a short, and the short's title was like something about Marvel falling apart, the worst show that they've ever made, this and that. And I was like, there's no way this person could actually think that. They did this whole video
right.
just for the clicks, like, because that show is actually really good and a lot of cool little surprises in it.
All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna pop it. Hello. Oh, and really quick. Hi, Ria. Lovely to see you. All right, so I'm not in any way affiliated with this channel, guys. This is just one of the channels I like to watch. And I felt like he did a pretty good job of a very nice documentary style YouTube channel in general. I like a lot of his hot takes and his reviews and retrospectives, but I thought the Superman one was pretty good, and there was stuff in it that I had never heard before. So it also because I figure everyone hanging out with us tonight in chat hangs out here enough to know what a nerd I am and how I deep dive on just for the shits and giggles. Like I literally, it'll be 3 a.m. I should be in bed, and I've gone down rabbit holes researching some random movie from 1972 that nobody cares about. So when I watch something and there's new information I wasn't aware of, I'm impressed. And like I said, I like his overall presentation. He also covers a lot of horror movies, which I also quite enjoy. So anyway, I get a chance, check out his Superman video, the link I just sent in the chat. But also, like, his other stuff is pretty good. So he did a really good series on Jaws, like all the sequels and stuff. So anyway, sorry, not to digress.
Did you say you've seen it already, or you're waiting to see it?
I haven't seen. I'm gonna go see it this week.
Okay.
Or by next weekend.
Yeah,
I try to always wait. I try to wait
free.
so that there are fewer people at the theater.
Yeah. And they closed down the theater right by my house, and
Oh no.
I liked it. It was cheap, and I could go Saturday morning, like the Friday after the movie comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be empty in the morning. That was like me and my kids' time, because usually that's my days off. I'd pick up my kids on a Friday night and then get up early Saturday morning, go, nobody in the theater.
Yeah, that's one of
Now
the
they're
things.
turned into a 24-hour fitness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that sort of less than ideal with sort of small town life is that we don't have a theater in our town. Closest theater is about 35-40 minutes away, which frankly, it was when we were in the Portland metro area, is about what it would take to get to a good theater with traffic. So, it's not much, but it's a little bit more of, like in Portland, we weren't in Portland, we were in the outskirts, but I could still easily walk to a bus, and so not have to drive and just jump on a bus and get to the theater, take the bus home, or worst case, Uber it, so I could just kick back and enjoy the day. And the theater I liked had a Ross's. It was by a mini mall with a Ross, so it's like and a Michael's, and so that way I could go get colored pencils and art supplies and hit Ross to see if they had new toys, and then go see a movie. But alas, there are many things you handle. But like frankly, the small town, we're in a pretty good small town, so we are quite fortunate that we found our town. So there are some inconveniences that we have because we're not in a metro area, but so far nothing that I'm just like, that's it. Let's sell this house and move back to the city. So let's see. Oh, Stanley's taking his nephew. That's really cool. Yeah, you got everyone here in chat. Let me know if you watch it and we cross paths again soonish. Let me know. Because pretty much everyone here, I trust that if they don't like something, it's not just because it's woke. And I will say, anytime somebody says something, it was too woke, you have guaranteed I'm going to go watch it. So, thanks. Because all that says to me is like there was a black person in it and it scared you. So there's a black people in this movie. It's like, great, I'm gonna go. That sounds like what I want to watch tonight. It's woke. There's a woman and she's not submissive to a man, and there's a black guy. I'm like, this sounds like a movie made for me. It's exactly what I need to watch tonight. Thanks, Chad. Chad. So anyway, not to insult people named Chad. Chad. Some of my best friends are Chad. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me that oh, sorry.
Oh no, I just didn't say I haven't known a Chad in a long time.
Right. That's why you don't. Yeah, you probably get better movie recommendations. But
the last Chad I knew was like high school. I actually had as a friend, friend named Chad.
It was, it's funny. I knew way more Chads in my 20s and but it seems like there are less Chads when you hit 30, 40 onward. What's going to be cool, finger quote cool, is the first time we all hit 70 and there's a 70-year-old Chad. So. Right. Our two dudes' faces got. Oh my god, that reminds me of how much I love the the Fast and the Furious movies. Like every time I go see one of those, like when The Rock and Vin Diesel get all up in each other's face, I literally have gotten dirty looks in the movie theater before because my friends and I went and saw one of those and we started chanting kiss, 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 kiss. And the woman and her kids their kids were fine. They didn't care. But the mom was all like, it's like, ma'am, this theater is empty except you and your 3 kids and then me and my friend. You should not have sat right behind us.
Right.
You have a whole ass theater.
That's why I hate too. I know when I was saying all the theater would be empty and there'd be nobody there, and you pick your seats before you go in and sit down with my kids. And then the only other 2 people to show up are right behind us. I'm like, you have the whole theater. Wouldn't you pick a couple seats down?
I never pick seats by other people.
Yeah, I'm always trying to avoid everybody.
It's like especially when I go to the movie by myself, I try to find something by myself, and then people will sit by me, and I'm just thinking the whole time, I would have brought a friend if I wanted to sit by somebody. Some people, they just don't appreciate.
Okay, purple.
That's a great question, CJ. What happened to them all? What nightmare caused the great Chad attrition? Oh yeah, they will still wear affliction. They'll be 77 and wearing affliction tees. They'll have all their tribal tattoos and still travel in a cloud of Axe body spray. No offense, Cob. So travel in a cloud of. I know you don't wear a cloud of Axe body spray, so we're good.
The what?
Oh, I just made an Axe body spray joke.
Yeah, I wear it.
I know, but you don't travel in a cloud of it. You can't smell you coming from a mile away on your way to CrossFit.
No, actually, until I met the last girl I was talking to, she's like, "Oh my God, you smell so good." My jacket smelled like you for a week.
Aw.
So it is strong. I know that. But use it modestly.
I have a bottle of Chanel #5, and it's like when you, I can't wear perfume on my skin, it breaks me out. So I will wear it on my
Pretty
clothes.
cute.
And it literally just for weeks lingers like a cranberry song.
Okay, you're going. Ah.
Oh my gosh. I think it's normal for teenagers to travel in a cloud of like cologne or perfume. I think that's why the joke happened for Axe body spray is because there were too many adults that traveled in a cloud of it. And I don't mean to like, there's like subtle, and then there's like literally you use the whole can. And I think that's normal as a teenager because you're just starting to stink. Puberty comes and you start to smell, boys, girls, whoever. Like you just get body odor. And anyone who says women do not have BO have never gone to hot yoga. There was a girl in my hot yoga class who like, oh my God, that smelled like somebody had thrown a bunch of potatoes off of a garbage truck and they landed in sewer mud. And I mean, probably like if she had mentioned it to the yoga director, she would have been like, well, that's because your gut health is really bad. You should be eating nothing but strawberries and kiwi and a little kelp. But anyway,
Yeah, I was making fun of the 18-year-old I'm training now at work. He came in some expensive cologne that smelled so strong.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you came in here smelling like a French prostitute.
Yeah. And I think it's just what like because I worked the hell out of my bottle of Electric Youth in high school because I'm that old, guys. When Debbie Gibson Electric Youth hit, I was like, oh my God, finally a perfume for me. I still have a bottle of Electric Youth somewhere. I should find it. Not that you guys could smell that over the camera, but oh, also really quick, you guys. So I got, and I mean, it'll be a while before I make a video or anything with it, but I found this really cool thing on eBay. You guys, they made a New Kids on the Block coloring book. I don't know why, but they did. I believe they made a cartoon of New Kids on the Block, and I think it's from the cartoon, but still. It was like $15. Okay, like $15. Okay, I can deal with that. The cheesiness of it alone was, And I'll do like a video or something with it, but it's just there's some weird coloring books from back in the day that I find, and I'm just like, that was a choice. I'll do a bunch of shorts so that I can use Hangin' Tough and all their hits. I just thought of them because the last time I saw Debbie Gibson in concert, she was opening for New Kids on the Block. That was like 3 years ago as well. So like, this wasn't back in the day. The first time I saw New Kids on the Block, they were opening for Tiffany. And then they had another opening. It was the Cover Girls. I don't know if anyone remembers the Cover Girls. That is your assignment, everyone, for today after the stream is go Google Cover Girls. We Can't Go Wrong on YouTube and see if the video should be on there because I feel like I've listened to it. But yeah, it was the Cover Girls, the New Kids on the Block, and Tiffany. And the last big concert I went to was Debbie Gibson and New Kids on the Block. So I have not evolved much in my adultness. Hello. Oh, wait. There we go. Hello, Tony's Figs. Welcome. Welcome.
Tony.
Sweet. Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely will reach out to Shauna. Hey, yep. Chris Plastic of Friday night. It's the only time Cobb and I can line up. So, here we are. You know, gotta hang out with my peeps. Did you ever go see New Kids on the Block, Cobb?
No, but I was just thinking about my sister and her kids went. How long ago that was now. Good.
Aw. Is
Good
that your kitty?
Yeah. What you want? She was just up here a second ago.
Just
She's so weird, though.
Just wanting to be acknowledged.
Real one was, I think, last Saturday or yeah, when we did the Clubhouse Saturday, I showed her on camera and I was petting her over here, and I went to enlarge somebody, and next thing I know, she jumped up and scratched the hell out of me. I don't know if she wanted more attention or there was a fly in the room she was going after.
She's like, I'm the only star here, bitch.
Right? She's such a weird cat.
Yeah, I've got all the kittens locked out. It's just me and my Augustus, my 6-year-old kitty. I had to take him to the emergency vet this morning, so he's in here with me chilling while he sleeps and recovers. So he's much happier now than he was this morning. So yeah, Derek Hoover is saying there was a New Kids on the Block cartoon.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier. I think I remember that.
And it seems like there was an episode of his podcast yesterday's, which means I probably know it because of that podcast. So there we go. I do this to Andrew of Gady's Toys too. I'll be like, hey, did you know about this thing? And then he'll be like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I watched it on your channel. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry. I'm old and I watch too much YouTube. Did you get one of the She-Ra Barbies or not?
No, and I almost went to order it just for the hell of it. I was like, I don't need one. And I wish I would have now because I heard that you missed out on it.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, more importantly, Melindy Britt, aka the voice of She-Ra, missed out on one. She had to log in like the rest of us and try to order one through Mattel Creations, and it sold out before she got one. And so Mattel, I guess realizing they kind of botched that one, because what better, sort of PR is there than. So anyway, she got a big box. Mattel sent her a big box of all the She-Ra, like the cartoon collection, the PowerCon version. Sent her a bunch of stuff, and then they told her that they would send her one when they're in stock, which is a pretty good sign. That would probably indicate that they might be getting more of those. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled.
Wasn't there supposed to be? They were doing more for like the UK Mattel Creations.
Yeah, they did some more for UK, and those didn't sell out as quickly, which means that they still have them. So that would be nice. I mean, I just want the one. I don't need.
I know. That's why I was so bummed out when I heard that. Actually, Alex told me. I was like, no way. And I was like,
yeah, it was. I was literally. It's just Mattel Creations sucks really bad because of the way Shop Pay is set up. So it takes a while to get around using Shop Pay, right? Because I don't need to use Shop Pay. I want to fucking pay for it today, people. So it takes a couple extra minutes, and those couple extra minutes to get it to offer me options other than Shop Pay was enough time for it to sell out.
Yeah, I've been using that Shop Pay just because it's the first thing that pops up. I'm like,
I've used it
just to get through, but
I used it for Motherboard because it was just that was a big chunk of money right at a time where I couldn't necessarily afford it. So sort of breaking it up was fine. and then I used it for Eternia because I broke the Eternia up into like 3 or 4 payments, which may drop in like, that's the only reason I was able to get Eternia, was I was able to break it up into payments like that. So, you know, I've used it with Mattel Creations, but also like sometimes when I use my card and just pay for stuff. So, but I couldn't remember if you had ordered one or not.
No, and I was kind of awake that morning, and yeah, I woke up at like 9:08. It's probably sold out by then.
Yeah, it sold out really quick.
Because I was looking, I was like, oh, should I go and order one? I was like, no, I already decided I didn't need to.
Okay, really quick, a couple things. Hello, Dave Dimensions. Welcome. Lovely to see you. Yeah. And now to the Melindy Britt. Yeah, she missed her character, and because she had to, and I know some people are like, they shouldn't get special. I'm like, if she's the voice of She-Ra, they should have sent her one, so that the day before she could have been like, look at this cool thing I've got. You guys should go get one. Like, that's free marketing, really. I mean, it's not free because they have to ship it to her and give her one. But of all the people that like will help get people more excited about buying something, Melindy Britt is just amazing. And she's such a sweet, amazing person too. And exactly, Derek. Like it's like I try not to be one. You know, everyone knows I try not to be one of those like, this is why the companies suck. But I'm going to say my one big criticism of Mattel is they, in a day and age where Hasbro often gets their internet marketing right, and a lot of the credit goes to Emily because Emily understands marketing, right? She's also not 1,000 years old. So like Emily is like 30s, 40s-ish. So she's the right age to understand how you use the internet to market your stuff. So I think Hasbro does pretty well. Mattel, I feel like they've got a boomer in charge of their internet marketing. Yeah, exactly. And like that's the thing. Like I don't mind Shop Pay being there because sometimes you want to use it when you're broke and you need the option. Again, that's the only reason I have an Eternia was I was able to break that up into payments. But it's just frustrating that what keeps happening is every time I try to log in to buy something, it's such a ordeal to turn it off. It's almost like they make it difficult so that more people will use it. And I cannot even. So, anyway. All right, let's see. We've bitched about Cybertrucks. We've talked about movies. And we bitched about Mattel. All right, we have covered everything that live streamers are supposed to do. And we told a story about Debbie Gibson and perfume and cologne.
So waiting to hear if Mattel wants to send me anything else.
That would be cool if they did. Like you did your review, right?
Yeah, I did the Masterverse She-Ra, that last one, the New Eternia one.
They are very. I know Jay from Geek Dad Life. He's on their like PR list, and he never knows if they're gonna send him anything until they send it to him. Like he'll get a thing like, which of these things are you interested in, and then they send it to him. And sometimes it's after this stuff has already been released. Like he didn't get like a bunch of the cartoon collection stuff that they sent him to do a review on. He didn't get it until after people already were getting their Big Bad Toy Store, and Big Bad Toy Store usually gets it very last. So
yeah, because I got that She-Ra after.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But again, it shows some like there's a disconnect with their marketing people that, you know. Like the stuff that's going out to people to do reviews that would help drum up support and stuff are going out after the stuff has already is already coming out and people are already buying, or it's sold out and nobody can get it. So like, I don't know. Again, their marketing seems really off. And
Yeah.
it wasn't at first. It seems like, in the beginning, it seemed like it was doing pretty well. Like the Sunman thing is a perfect example. They had really good PR around, when they brought Sunman into the early waves of of Origins. Like it just seems like at some point, it feels like, honestly, it feels like it happened around the time somebody started saying the line is dead, that they just stopped which only fed the fire of the line is dead. So. Oh, really quick. Let's see. Hello,
I'm
Max.
curious to hear about Masterverse moving to the new title Chronicles.
Yeah.
Because I know Chronicles is something that same person was going to move Classics into being named Chronicles, wanted to use. So I'm sure there's going to be some words about that. I came up with that.
Sure.
I was going to do Classics Chronicles.
And really quick, Max is asking, what do we think about the next Masters of the Universe movie? I'm waiting to see it. Like it's really hard to tell with behind the scenes stuff if something's, like I know some of the photos that leaked, people says, oh, this looks bad. But it's really hard with raw footage, like they have to go in and do color correction and they process it and add CGI and add elements. Like it's really hard to tell with perfect example of the Barbie movie. Like some of the behind the scenes stuff that leaked made it look really bad, but the actual movie looked really good. So I'm just to the point where I try to avoid spoilers where I can, and I just wait to go see the actual movie. So hopefully it's going to be good. And frankly, it would be really hard for it to not be better than the 1987 movie. We all kind of like it now, but as a kid, I went and saw the 1987 movie, and when I walked out of the theater, I was very unhappy with that movie. So. That movie got better with time. Well, why are you biting your tongue? You don't even know what the new movie is. So until you see it, who cares? Right? So. Oh, yeah, right. And that's the one thing, Dave. Like, I've stopped, like, until I actually see it for myself, I don't. Like, I'm not even watching YouTube reviews of stuff. I don't know. Especially fandom stuff. Like, I don't. Overall, I feel like a lot of fandoms have become so obnoxious and like they're being demanding about stuff that I don't know. I don't, it was really big back during the prequel movies for Star Wars. I followed all of the spoilers all the time. I was up on it. And then I just, sort of with the last set of Star Wars movies, the spoilers for movies, especially, I think it's YouTube. But it's so depressing. Like it's 100% people ripping it apart and trying to make opinions about it to generate clicks. I mean, I get it. People watch it. But I don't know. Like I sort of missed the days where we didn't really know anything about the movie until it was actually in theaters and people were actually watching it.
Yeah.
And people were making up their minds about the movie upon watching it. And I know there are a lot of people who are like, oh, it's going to be on Earth, but it's like, but if they did it as an animated movie, people would be like, oh, we need it live action. And it's like, there just isn't the budget for a Masters of the Universe movie to give us a 100% Eternia movie. Like, no matter how popular it is with the fandom, Masters of the Universe is as far as Hollywood is concerned, it is a C-list at best property. The only movie Masters of the Universe has ever had pretty much bombed. So they didn't make money off of it. It was part of what helped Canon Pictures go bankrupt finally. So, like, you know, the Netflix animated shows did all right, but as far as the live action franchise, Masters of the Universe has a lot to prove as far as Hollywood is concerned. So they're not going to put that much money into it until it's earned that. So if it does well, the sequel, I'm sure, will get more money, and maybe we'll get an all Eternia sequel. So yeah, you know, and also it did sort of set the bar low, but also it has gotten better over the years. I enjoy it much more now that it's almost 40 years later. And I'm no longer like, you know, because as a kid, we went and saw it, and I was like, why is She-Ra not in this? Like, where's this character? Where's that? Why does it look so different? But now I watch it, and I kind of appreciate that, you know, the sorceress doesn't look the exact. I like the sorceress's costume actually in the movie better than her Filmation look. So I don't know. Like I've decided, it's like with the Superman thing. It's like all of the discussion around Superman. It's just like I'm gonna wait until I go see it to make up my mind. I do know I want to go see it way more because everyone's complaining it's too woke. And I'm just like, how do you make a Superman movie that isn't woke? Because Superman is pretty woke. Like, it's always been Superman. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be good. Or it won't be good, and I just, you know, I won't watch it more than once. I'll go watch something else.
I didn't think about there being so much black on Trapjaw here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of his costume is.
Yeah.
And actually, I agree, Max. I think Masterverse has been a really good successor. And I'll give another piece of it: better distribution at retail, better cost. Also, I think the plastic, to my opinion, I think the plastic used for Masterverse is better than classics. A lot of my classics figures are already starting to get like that sticky plastic breakdown thing. Like every time I look at my green goddess, I'm afraid she's gonna start falling apart from from classics. So I like the plastic better for Masterverse. So yeah, there are a lot of things I think, and I think it's because it's a major retail line, whereas classics was mostly fan channels and subscription. Yeah, oh, I think nostalgia is the reason it's getting made to begin with. I think the problem is though is they're running out of nostalgia stuff. I mean, I really wish people would start making new things because that's really, like, I went and saw Sinners. I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Sinners. I really liked it because it wasn't part of a franchise. It wasn't a remake. It wasn't a sequel or a requel or a reboot or whatever. It was a new movie with a new story, and like I just thought it was really good. Like, it was nice to see a movie that I haven't seen 30 other times in the last 20 years. Where I didn't know what to expect. There's not a fandom to like be upset that this character got used or this character didn't get used, or this character is now played by a man from like some country and he's not white enough or he's not green, whatever it is. Like, it was just nice to go see a movie where it's like I had no expectations other than the trailer looked really cool. And I would really like more movies like that. Like, I really just want more movies where it's like it's a new story, it's new characters, it's new concepts. And I get, everyone's like, Hollywood's out of ideas. It's not that Hollywood's out of ideas, it's that Hollywood doesn't want to pay for ideas. They want to pay for stuff they already own and already have access to. And that's all it kind of comes down to. Disney isn't buying like Star Wars and Marvel and all these things because anybody at Disney has any love for Star Wars or Marvel. They want to be able to make these franchises. They don't want to have to pay for something new. They bought Lucasfilm outright so that they can make more Star Wars movies without having to pay somebody else to do it. Whereas if Disney were making new stuff, they would have to pay somebody for their new ideas. That's why Disney did all the fairy tales back in the day. That's, you pay somebody that's on staff at Disney to write that movie. You don't have to pay a creator because, the Brothers Grimm are long dead. So it's just, that's kind of, like, it's not that Hollywood lacks creativity. It's that Hollywood doesn't want to pay people to be creative. They don't want to have to pay extra royalties to somebody else. It's why you keep saying AI. Hollywood wants to use AI for stuff because they have to pay creatives even less if they do that. All corporations basically just want to sell you a product as cheaply as they can to make as much money as they can. And until we stop going and seeing the sort of recycled stuff over and over, they're not ever going to give us anything new. That's why Sinners for me was such a big deal, and I enjoyed it so much. And I've seen it 3 times. I saw it 3 times at the theater. So that Hollywood's like, wow, we made a lot of money off an original thing. So, anyway.
So that's Ryan Coogler?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it, Derek. Definitely, like, it's rated R for a reason. Like, I will say that for sure. Like, it's definitely a you and Shauna movie. But
he's the one that did like Black Panther and them too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure if that show I was just talking about, the Ironheart, if he has something to do with that.
Possibly.
Might be, because I really liked that show. It was good.
I have not watched Ironheart yet because I've not turned on Disney Plus yet. But I will. We do things 6 to 7 months and then we turn them off and then do the other one and catch up on everything. So, because otherwise you're spending way too much every month and then you're not watching anything, much less one of them. We're almost done with Max right now. I think Sinners is on Max. I need to go in because we pay for Max. Let's see. Yep, it's Ryan Coogler. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He also did Fruitvale Station, which is an independent movie he did. I thought it was pretty good. It's a biographical drama about actual events that led to the death of a guy on the BART Bay Area Transit Center. Back in the day. It was a good movie, but it's not an easy movie to watch. So while I recommend it, it's not easy. It's not an easy watch because of the subject matter. So recommended, but be prepared for like uncomfortable movie watching, basically. Oh, hello, Cassie. August is in like 20 days. 22. It's really close.
Closer to my birthday.
Yep, agreed, Chris. Shiny. Fruitvale Station was rough. Derek, so far, Cobb is, I'm very selective about who I believe. But Cobb liked it. Brick, I don't know why I was spacing on Brick. Brick seems to have enjoyed what I don't think he has finished it yet, but and then, who else watched? I know 3 people who said they liked it. Cobb, you're one of them.
I don't know if Oz was one of them. I'm pretty sure Oz that he liked
Yeah,
it
it
too.
was so that's 4 people that I trust that have said that they really liked it. So yeah. My weekend just started, so we don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah. Well, congratulations. 21 was a good year. I remember that barely. It was one of my favorite years, the year I turned 21. Back in the dark ages. There we go. See, look, I'm almost done with the Skeletor. All right, we need some.
I haven't done a whole lot. I'm really stuck on what to do with the black, or if I should just go with him being like Filmation colors. Maybe just do the pink instead.
That would be cool.
Kind of. I mean, there'll still be some black in there, but
yeah, there's still a little, but it would definitely be stand out more. I think if you did.
Where are you clawing? There she goes. Clawing at me.
She's like, I'm ready for my close-up, Cobb.
She is a wild one.
Oh yeah, all cats are little. We've got those kittens, because we got 4 new kittens last month, and I woke up this morning with the alarm, and they were just all 4 cuddled with me, all kitty pile. I was part of the kitty pile, so I've been accepted by the the pack of kittens. They are pretty, overall they're pretty sweet, which is surprising because their mom was a feral cat. And predominantly an outdoor kitty, and a friend of mine caught her, and they were doing foster so they can get her fixed, because the mama cat has been having baby cats every couple of 2 or 3 times a year for the last 5 or 6 years, and just filling their neighborhood with feral cats. So
Yeah,
they caught them, they've fostered them. They were able to, whenever she had this litter, they took her in and got her fixed so that she won't have any more litters. And it's really hard to get feral cats adopted, so they basically brought all 4 of the kittens in. Made a little cat sanctuary in their backyard, so that they were indoor kitties and were getting human interaction, and she wasn't sure about how to get all 4 of them adopted, but they were all really close, they were really bonded. So I'm like, 4 kittens is a lot, but let's do it. We've got the room. If they end up being adopted, most likely they're going to be all split up. So let's keep the family together. And we've got older cats that don't get as much playtime as they need, so kittens are really good for helping older cats get interaction and playtime. So 4 cats later, here we are. Now we have 7. Plus there are a couple of strays in our neighborhood that we put water and food out for, just so they don't starve. So yes, I will one day be a crazy old cat lady, and I'm okay with that. That's my job. Somebody has to do it. Oh yeah, there you go. Hello, Mint with Card. No worries about being late. You're practically on time. Lovely to see. And Mint with Card will be here Sunday morning. I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mint with Card. I've been bragging to everyone that I'm the first person who gets to have you on my live stream. So if it's not your first live stream, let me know so I can stop passing misinformation to the people. But I'm going to continue to tell people it's your first time because it's exciting to help, like be the first person somebody jumps on a stream with. And a year from now, Mick, you'll have all these subscribers and we'll get you on Clubhouse and you'll be Toy Tube Elite. And then you can have somebody go off on you like and threaten you on the stream. Oh my god, that was so. I went back and watched that. Because I was filming stuff and doing stuff around the house, and so I wasn't watching that stream, right? And so I came in when the chat was blowing up about what had transpired. And I was like, what are they talking? And then I went back and watched it, and I was like, oh my God, what just happened? This is crazy.
Right.
It just felt so unreal. So anyway, that will never happen on one of my it might, I was just like, what? Anyway.
Yeah, I had to be a little cautious because I ended up posting the next week, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's odd to me why. It's not. People sometimes are just like that. So. Yeah, Derek, I'll explain it much later. Excellent. Huzzah. Yep, Mint just confirmed it. I'll be his first live stream. There we go. Yeah, it's a good thing, Thanks for popping in, Cass. And Cassie, you will be good. I'm sure you've already gone. But I did find a computer and Mr. Chips coloring page. So at some point there will be I'll have a coloring short that has that in it. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, Derek, I'll tell you off stream. So and Mint with Card, yeah, we will at some point. You definitely at some point will be on a retro cavalcade with us. So our whole goal with that show is just to try to get everyone on there at some point. At some point, like we haven't invited you yet, Cobb, to join us for a retro cavalcade because you work on the nights we tend to do those. So
yeah, I miss everybody's stuff now.
Yeah.
Sleeping during the day and leaving right when people are doing stuff like at night.
Yeah, exactly. We're usually starting right when you're leaving for work. So we'll make it work out at some point. Because I'll go with when we do retro cavalcade is just to jump on there and talk about the stuff we do like that's come out. Instead of some Twitch streams where it's like complaining about all the stuff you don't like.
That's where all the fun is.
Yeah, right? I disagree. I've actually stopped watching most of the streams where people complain the whole thing. I think there's only like 2 left that I still kind of watch, but otherwise I'm just too much negativity. Like, this is my free time.
Yeah, I usually go and watch little things for Easter eggs on shows and movies and see little things that I might have missed when watching it. It's kind of cool sometimes. I'm like, oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, that's a good point. Chris is like, Lord forbid we be positive. And she's, like, yeah, she'll be a royal too, Chris. So it kind of works out. So, yeah. But also, allegedly, Lord has more than that one song. I didn't know that. How's it going? Did you figure the blacks and the filmation stuff out?
Yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth for the maybe do a little black and pink. I'm just trying to do my own creation.
Yeah, just figure it. I mean, it's like
it just it's like the way things are drawn sometimes. I'm like it'd be a little weird doing some black here and the pink over there. So I might just do it my own way.
Well, not only that, though, that picture looks like it's based on the Mondo trap jaw.
That's what I was kind of looking at here too.
Yeah, so it's like it's got, and Mondo, when they do those, tend to bring in elements of like the original filmation. They often will, there's a little 2000X vibe to it, so plenty of room to just sort of adapt it and sort of do your own thing with it.
And I got the two pictures, so I'm kind of testing stuff out on the other one. See where I might want to go with it.
I feel like it would be much happier, CJ, if I hung out in fewer chats, but it's like when I'm filming stuff, it's harder to just put in a movie, especially if I'm doing long form, because like color, like here's some behind the scenes tidbits, kids. Like for color and chill videos, I film those full length, which can be anywhere from like an hour and a half to like 8 hours. So I have to do those in like 20-30 minute increments. So if I put in something too long, like a movie for those, like I will accidentally record it too long. And when I record it too long for whatever reason, my phone will often eat it. And so anytime there's a video where there's like a jump cut or whatever, and you're like, wow, like you just completed stuff and you didn't show it to us on camera. What's going on there? It means I filmed too long and my phone ate some of the footage. So I watch too much YouTube, and for that, I'm in too many chats. But I'm trying to work on that. So it'll be nice once I'm in the studio. I won't have to use my phone to film as much stuff, because I'll be able to finally set up like a proper camera mount and everything for videos. So that'll be cool. And for those wondering, we're doing the last layers of paint in my studio this weekend, I think. And then once those are up, I can actually start moving in there. So any luck, by August, after my mini break, I'll be filming in the new space. So there we go. Agreed, met with card. Agreed. And I will say to this, like there are times where I do get really pissy about Todd McFarlane and the lack of women in the superpowers line, but that's also sort of tongue in cheek. And it's also not something where I actually like, other than internet streams and whenever, it's not like I sit around at my desk during my day job or when Matt and I are having dinner or like You know, like I'm laying in bed with the kittens, or I'm like doing stuff that's not toy tube. It's even when I'm filming stuff, I don't sit here and go like, Todd McFarland. Like it's not, it's just, you know, it's something to say in the chats. It's, you know, it's toy discourse, but it's, you know, it's not something that I actually, and there's some people where when you watch their live streams and they're complaining about something, you can tell that they sit and think about it a really long time. Like there's some people who get mad about this stuff and carry it into their day-to-day life. And I can promise you that I have entirely too many real world problems. So like if you drive into, you know, get groceries or whatever, like, God dang it, Todd McFarland is the worst. How dare he? I mean, I wish I had a life where that was like the least, you know, my biggest problem was Todd McFarlane won't make more women action figures so I can spend too much money on them. It would be a lovely life for sure. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I was trying to push for it, and then I just realized it's like I don't have to rush this, and I just like let it take its time. And that made it really. Yeah, Todd has, you know, and that's the thing. He's had some really crappy stuff around it, but at the same time, like, you know, like there's just so many real world things that occupy my, you know, non-YouTube time that I don't, outside of, you know, the occasional live stream or chats where it's specifically we're talking about toys. I don't worry about Todd McFarland and his weird misogyny in the one action figure line he does where it's like that's really the main thing people want. So it's just odd. I think it's really odd because Mattel has way more of a boys toy and girls toy, you know, sort of mentality, and it's like Masterverse and like even Origins is full of women figures. So it's like it's just odd to me that Todd, who one of the main things that he became famous for when he started his own company was he was doing Angela and he was doing, you know, women action figures, and like that was so much of what pushed like the early indie toy scene was, you know, like sort of all these independent comics with these sort of, I mean, to be fair, they were hypersexualized. They were a little bit too sexy for my taste, but at the same time, that was a big push. Like I remember buying a Witchblade action figure. I don't think that was by Todd McFarlane. I can't remember who the Witchblade figure was from, but it was really nicely sculpted. But that was a big part of the early indie toy scene. Was like they were making a lot of women action figures that the big companies wouldn't do, and it's just weird that Todd is now sort of like the big toy companies where he's not doing women or whatever. This is true, Mint. However, when I'm stuck in traffic, it's Moby's fault. So. Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like Mattel will. You know, last time, I mean, to be fair, the last time Mattel did DC, a big chunk of that was with the same brand manager from Classics. The line is Mr. The Line is Dead. But I will say, despite, you know, the flaws of that, you know, Scott Nutlick's various flaws, I will say he was never afraid of sticking a woman in an action figure line. Like Classics had a lot of, he gave us every, you know, some of them came out after he left, but he planned for every Princess of Power character.
Yeah, I did go deep with everything.
You know, he planned for all of that. Like, so there are many things that we can fault Scott Nutlick on, but one of the things we can is he was never afraid of giving us women, even, you know, like DC Universe Classics at retail. Like, I've got 2 cheetah figures that I bought at a Walmart through that toy line. So, you know, again, like the man has his faults, but there's, you know, he also, again, he was willing to, he at least gave us the ladies. Questionable choices, yes, but at the same time, there were women. I mean, he gave us Power Girl, he gave us Black Canary. Like, I still got that. I think is the last Black Canary figure I bought. Was the one from DC Universe Classics, because I don't feel like there's been a better one to come out since. So anyway, so yeah, I do feel like if Mattel continues superpowers, or like even if they don't call it that, if they continue that scale and that style, I do feel like we'll get Black Canary. I feel like we'll get some of the ladies of the Teen Titans. I'm hopeful. It would be nice. Yeah, that's a good thing, Jared. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, what I noticed is, you know, Scott left Mattel to go work at Jakks Pacific, and then he left Jakks Pacific, and he hasn't worked at a toy company since. I know he's done some freelance. He's done some freelance work in the toy industry, and he's like helped a few people launch toy lines, but he hasn't actually worked in toys. And I feel like his villain turn has come since he hasn't actually been working at a toy company. So, you know, maybe some of it is just he feels sidelined and he wishes he was not. But I will say, despite his faults, like he did give us a lot of really cool women figures, and I own quite a few of them. So there you go. I assumed. That's what I thought, CJ. I thought that's who you meant. All right. All right, Skeletor is done.
What's the word bubble say for that?
It says, we must capture Teela and force He-Man to come to her rescue.
Mm. This looks pretty good. I'm liking this. You know, I never put my second camera up since I was running late. Show up here. Getting there, little by little. Not sure what else I want to do with the gun. Continue pink or mix it up some.
That looks really good. Sleep well, Derek, and have a good day at work tomorrow.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. Muchly appreciated. Yeah, CJ, his trap jaw can't. CJ is just saying good trap jaw. There you go. So,
I think, yeah.
yeah, it looks really good. It's funny because I remember the first time you joined me on one of these, you were all nervous about your coloring. And now you make all these great choices. So there you go. See, you just need to practice, Cob.
And yeah, need to do more in my off time with just being when I'm here with you.
Right?
I do need to step away from work and just, I don't know, the whole night shift thing, man, just really throws you off. Especially the hours, like 8 to 4:30 in the morning is such a crazy.
I've never worked true night shift, but I used to work like the closing shift at Blockbuster, and like just that like 3 p.m. to like midnight, where you close the store at midnight, but you don't get out till 1 with closing and safe and everything. And just like 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. used to mess me up so bad because it's like you get home and you're still wired, and it's like, like your meal schedules are off. So it's like technically you had dinner at like 7 o'clock, but it was really just lunch. So it's like you're eating again, but then you need to go to bed, but then you can't go to bed. And then like,
I'm eating breakfast at 6 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
Get up, have a breakfast sandwich, then dinner at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it throws you off. Like,
and then just interaction with people. I'm asleep all during the day. I don't get out to. My time I'm really out is go shopping, grocery shopping on the weekend a little bit.
It's funny. I can tell when you get up because all of a sudden I get the notifications that you're watching the reel. Like because you'll do the smiley face or whatever for the reels.
Oh.
And then you'll send them, and then I can tell when you've gone to bed in the morning because you stop sending and stop watching. I'm like, oh, Cob finally fell asleep.
Yeah, I'm be out. And then work's been so busy lately. A lot of the time I'm going through all of the stuff you sent me while I'm at work. And work lately, bad. Everything's piling up. And usually when I get home, I'll start looking at people's stuff they sent me.
Yeah, I've been trying to be good about not sending too much stuff.
Oh no, you're always fine. When I get to it, I binge watch everything.
Yeah, that seems like it might be a fun job, CJ. Mailroom at a newspaper. It's of course. Anytime I hear that now, I think about the Zodiac Killer because, like he would send the letters to the newsroom mail office, and then of course I then think of you because you live close to one of the alleged, not technically close, but you're close enough that if I were to go visit you, we could go check out the alleged crime scene, because it's not one of the confirmed victims. So it's an alleged victim of this Zodiac. I do see though that this particular page, they just gave her underwear. They didn't actually put the rest of her outfit together. So I am going to fix that because it looks weird. There we go. All right, that's not perfect. Once I get all the color in, it'll be fine. So, yep, I need to get down closer to where you are at some point. Then we'll go get lunch or whatever. Go hit some toy stores, and then we'll go see Zodiac Killer alleged crime scenes. Because that is one of the few Zodiac Killer sites that alleged. Because again, it's not proven that it's one of his, but it's one of the few I haven't seen. I've seen everything in the Bay Area.
Before too. I'm right down the street from that Wineville.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like right there.
Sweet. I'll go check it out.
We changed the name of the little town after that, but there's still the street, Wineville.
Yeah. Serial killers and toys. That would be a channel. Probably make a lot of money on a channel like that. It should start a toy tube channel. It's like we shop for toys in places where people were murdered. Yeah, I watch too much true crime though. I don't need to make true crime. It would be less interesting, I think, if I actually had to make that kind of content. Oh, it's the good Todd. Good Todd is here, you guys. Oh my god, that would be funny though. Instead of CJ's like, instead of true crime and makeup, true crime with toys, and then you would reenact the scenes with toys. That would be kind of funny.
I would, yeah.
I still need to get my shit together so I can start doing the doll soap opera. I've got all these scripts I wrote when I was in high school for my own soap opera. So it's like 80s and 90s soap opera. It's not like modern soap opera. It's like All My Children, Vintage General Hospital, all that kind of stuff. And so I wrote finger quote scripts for from freshman year of high school to like my second or third year in college. So from the time I was like 13 to like 19. So, and those stories got wild. Like, I mean, they were exactly what soap operas were back then. I had one character who pretended to be in a wheelchair for like episodes and episodes to catch her husband cheating with her sister. And then dramatic, and of course, but if you do it all with dolls, it would be high comedy. But yeah, I need to get all of that together. And once the studio is set up, it'll be easy because I can build sets and everything will have a space, and we'll be able to start doing custom figures again. Which will help with the clutter because I have like 7 giant Big Bad Toy Store boxes full of unopened Origins figures that are all for customs. We were unpacking some stuff, and Matt was like, "Why do you have 9 Sunman?" It's like, I need those for customs. And they were super cheap. And I caught those one of the days where Amazon had them on sale for like, what? There was one point where Amazon had those down to like $3 a piece. And and the same with the Sorceress. And I spent like $50 on Sunman and Sorceresses. So yeah, like a bunch of, I should go and look. Yeah, it would be especially ridiculous with a doll. Just yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I want to make fun stuff. I not that my normal content is fun, but it's like my normal content is to a degree like there's a predictability to like the coloring book stuff where it's like we do a flip through. Even when I do a toy history video, it's like like there's a formula for it. It would be nice to do something that's completely off the wall and unpredictable and you know, and it's like, you know, that's everyone. Well, I say everyone, but like, you know, like my sense of humor is very, very dark at times. I laugh at stuff that people should not laugh at.
Oh yeah, I do too.
And so, well, and yeah, as far and the wheelchair thing would be easier now because when I started writing the whole writing the soap opera, it's like there weren't dolls that had wheelchairs. They would have had to make one. But now, like, there are options. Like, it's really cool. It's part of the reason I said I should dust off those scripts and actually do the doll soap opera because there are so many different, you know, Barbie. There's a whole bunch of different Barbies now where it's like they have different body types and different faces, and it's not just the same face painted over and over. So it's really cool. Ooh, that would be really cool. If you start doing paper doll animation, ping me because I've got some paper doll stuff that I'm working on for the channel. That might be anyway, like I will ping you when it's time to get closer to planning that. I've got some ideas. And if you have if you've got experience doing that, I would be happy to, we could figure out a collaboration, if you will. So. And allegedly, I don't know if this interests you or not, CJ, but allegedly Inside Editions is going to be releasing a Star Wars paper doll book in the next month or two that has Leia, Padme, Anakin, Luke, and I think Han, and like 2 or 3 other characters. So anyway, there's stuff coming. So yeah, we'll figure. I'll ping you about that. And when I say I'll ping you about that, it could be anytime between like 2 weeks from now or a year. So I just, you know, my head is full of ideas. It's just getting to them. I've had like 5 videos that I planned before I launched the channel that are still in progress. I'll find like, yeah, right. There's just 5 files, and it's like every so often I'll put something in there. I'll open up the script. I'll write on it a little bit and be like, oh, I need this for it, right? And then I'll go and order the thing that I need for the video. It gets here. I put it in the box, like, this is for that video. And then I don't work on it again for a few weeks because it's just like everything else. I have one video I wanted to do last in May for Star Wars that I just couldn't make happen. So now I'm like, do I do it next year in May, or do I save it for 2027 and the 50th anniversary of Star Wars? So again, there's a lot. So that goes into, you know, I would make way more content if I simplified it, but I don't know. I just like doing stuff. Yeah, I figure there is stuff, so we'll figure it out. There you go. That looks pretty good. I kind of like the Filmation colors, actually. I think it works with the animation style of Lynn. Okay, actually, though, use that for her helmet. Is Kenny doing his show tonight? I can't remember if he said he was taking tonight off or not.
Yeah, for wrong person, it's so hard for me to keep up anymore. I usually last minute. Oh,
no worries.
Usually I'm out shopping, doing all my stuff, trying to get everything done for the weekend, so I can actually chill tomorrow. And then
I just know you often jump.
When music goes on, that's usually when I know.
Yeah. Okay. I can look. I can look right now, actually.
What time does he go? 9:30?
Usually, I think 9:30 or 10:30. I think it was 9:30. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything.
At the beginning if I go on there, so.
All right, let's see. Here we go. I mean, I could message him, but also I could just look up his channel. Because oh, wait. There we go. All right, nothing scheduled, but also nothing on his community tab saying it's not happening. So last thing is saying he couldn't do Wednesday, but he was shooting for Friday. So
sometimes I think he don't know till last minute either. So
well, especially with the new job and the training and stuff that's been happening. So.
I just realized this trap jaw might be a little violent. He's got like drips coming from his teeth.
Oh, he could be.
Make them red.
He's been chewing on stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, trap jaw.
Such a good character.
He really is. Like,
so much going for him.
And he's also a really cool reuse of like a couple concepts that Mattel had, like, you know, because they did Iron Jaw. Yep. So he's like partly iron, but like they just, but if you've ever seen Iron Jaw, like it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like it's just a dude.
Shares eyebrows.
Yeah, right? It's like a bald dude with a trap jaw, black suit, and like a hook. Whereas Trap Jaw, of course, has those things, but like he's actually got a cool look. So like it's a really good example of and taking a concept and, you know, like sort of flipping it around so that it works. I feel like a lot of Masters of the Universe did that. Like especially in the early days, there were a couple of figures where it was like they took existing concepts and repurposed it.
Oh yeah, they were having fun with it when they started.
Well, and it makes sense because a lot of that stuff they got patents on for how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they own the patent, so like you should use it. But also to have a patent, you have to use it so often to sort of maintain ownership. So,
Yeah, that is one thing I know. Like Scott talked about too, is that in the industry that people have an idea and it never gets used, and then be a whole nother toy line. They're like, hey, I had this idea from
yeah.
back then. Let's use it now.
Yeah, a bunch of Man-at-Arms came from the Paladin character that Mark Taylor designed
Yeah.
for Robin Hood and Space toy line they were thinking about doing. I mean, even Manny Faces is a repurposing of a Big Jim concept.
Yeah, they had those spinning around.
Yeah, I
Toys.
forget.
I know two faces. I forget what they look
Yeah.
like. But
One was, I think, like a. I think one looks like Skeletor, and then one was just a regular human-looking guy.
oh yeah. That Captain Drake.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Something Drake.
And then, of course, they reused that for Double Trouble over at Princess of Power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of Prince of Power have kind of their counterparts too, huh?
Yeah. Well, they reused like Web Store for. I mean, it was Flood Arena, but her butterfly wings were on the similar hook pack. And trying to think. Well, a lot of the characters for Princess of Power sort of lined up. You know, like you have Shadows, you have Angela, you've got Manny Faces, you've got Double Trouble.
Yeah,
You got
really wish they
Merman.
would jumped into more Masterverse Princess of Power this year.
Yeah, it's really weird that they like kind of stopped. But it doesn't seem like they've released a lot of Masterverse this year in general outside of Mattel Creation stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Prince of Power, they're doing for that cartoon collection, everything going that way too. It'd be cool to get a little more Origins based ones too.
Yeah, and Origins, like I feel like we need an Origins Bow, Glimmer, like I think Wave 1 Princess of Power should happen in Origins at least.
Yeah.
You know, like Bow, Catra, like toy version Catra, Angela, Glimmer, Castaspella, Frosta.
I was so happy to get my Shirella. It was so cool to finally have her.
Yeah, mine is back there with the Crystal Castle one. I've been trying to hold off on opening a bunch of stuff till the studio is set up, and I was just like, I can't take it. I'm opening Shirella because I wanted to look at the eyes because, you know, a couple of people got bad eyes on theirs.
Yeah, I know. I got 3, and I opened them all up. I was like, oh man, I lucked out 3 out of 3 on good.
Yeah, I got 3 too. I only opened the one that I knew would be my display one. I opened that one. And that one, the eyes were fine. I would have kept opening if I had bad eyes. But if it's like a, you know, like I keep one mint on card. And that one, I don't care if the eyes are off because that one's just going to be in the box at all times forever. Unless I, you know, like I sell her when I die, someone sells it. Then whatever they do with it, that's their problem.
Put some sunglasses on her.
Yeah, they'll be fine. And the other one I want a custom. So like if the eyes are off on a custom, it's easy enough to sort of, you know, fix that.
Talking about Trapjaw, I got my Mythic Legions Trapjaw, and I got him pretty cheap. He's not complete, doesn't have the extra head, which I never would have used.
That's really cool.
And didn't have his own weapons, but I have some of the weapons anyways. But I kept looking on eBay for like $80, 75 I think was the lowest I'd seen him playing. Got him for 35. I was so happy.
So the cat for She-Ra is not the same mold. The original Claudine that they showed at Toy Fair in 1985 was, oh no, you mean Big Jim? Okay, yeah, Big Jim. It's the same cat.
Oh yeah.
The same, and they actually reused that cat also for the Tarzan toy line and paint. It was black and a panther. And yeah, the eagle. There's a couple different eagles that they used in Big Jim. I don't know if it was from different play sets or if it was just different paint apps. But yeah, they were going to, if Princess of Power Toyline hadn't have been canceled, they were going to reuse that bird mold again for Glory Bird for the Star Sisters. And so.
I don't know why Glory Bird always makes me laugh.
Yeah, like, well, you know, it was a different.
I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, it was a different time. Like, now there's just a lot to unpack. Like,
such a big kid.
We will never get a Glory Bird. I think Adam Shearer, though, who's on Instagram, and I got my repo lookie from, and I've gotten a few repo accessories and outfits from him. I think he does a Glory Bird. I purchased an extra Tila and Zor so I could make a Glory Bird. So I think I'm going to check with him in a couple soonish to see about picking up if he still does kits for Glory Bird. At some point I want to see about getting one of his the concept outfit for She-Ra from the 87 movie. He does a figure of her in vintage Motu style, and it's really good. Like, it's a really well, like, he literally has the look of Mattel's, like how Mattel used to make toys down. So
I know, I think it's so fascinating how people making those customs like that look like in 80s.
Yeah, those are really good. Have you done any customs or something? I feel like it's been a while since I've seen one, but that just means I'm not paying attention.
Oh, well, my pop and swap stuff pretty much. I don't know what I've really done lately. I've been working on my mythics. Trying making some of my own. I'm getting close. I'm waiting on a couple more parts for that. Making my own Mythic Legion Skeletor because there he is. Because that Keltis is what, like $300 now. So making my own. Really like the look of this. He's not like the Keltis one is actually skeleton. It's like bones. Yeah. I like it more with the muscles because I was like, you know, Skeletor always had the muscles. And what's cool is I like he has hood feet. Kind of how the Havoc Ram kind of theme to him. So I'm gonna give him some kind of horned helmet, kind of like that Battle Armored Masterverse. But I'm still working on that. There are a couple things I need.
I need to get the at some point the Mythic Legion She-Ra.
Oh, like, I have her.
Yeah, she's really cool. I've got a couple saved.
Oh, you need her, okay.
Yeah, I need to get that's the only Mythic Legion I actually want right now. And I need to get her. I've got a couple saved in my. It's literally this thing where it's like I've got a couple pricier action figures that I want to pick up. And it's kind of like, okay, this check I can afford a pricey figure. Here's the 5 that, and I just kind of work my way down the list. And we just haven't got to that one yet, but we'll get there.
And I just happened to be looking through because I got some stuff off eBay and I see my purchase history. And I was like, oh man, I paid a lot for that Mythic Legion She-Ra at the time.
Yeah, she's all over the place. And that's kind of why I haven't rushed it, because it's like I feel like, and there's some things where it's like I've gone in and bought and spent a lot of money for it and waited, and it was the right decision. And then I've had a few things where I spent a lot and just basically wasn't patient, and then they show up super cheap later, and I'm
That's
just
my
like,
problem.
I could have just waited. There are a few things where I don't care, like where I just
Yeah,
want
most
it.
of the time I don't really care. I get everything pre-ordered and like, yeah, I'm gonna have it. I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about it. Especially like all the He-Man stuff. You never even know like
right.
what's gonna not be available later. Like that. The Masterverse Skeletor, that battle armor one. That
Hmm.
man, he just so cool and sucks so bad. So many people are just like, man, I wasn't able to get them. And I was like, I would think they'd make enough of those for everybody to pick those up.
My guess is there is probably a bunch of those sitting somewhere. I feel like there are a couple I feel like the movie Beastman is the same thing, where it's like there are cases of that are going to show up like in a year or two at like a Target or something.
Or the Mattel warehouse. I know that warehouse
Yeah,
I go to. I never know what's going to be up there.
yeah.
There's tons of classic Night Stalkers right now.
Well, it was like you I mean, it was like the time you found the She-Ra and the Shadow Weaver there, that
Yeah,
San Diego Comic Con set that like at the
yeah.
time was going for a lot.
And where were they? 2016.
Yeah, 2006, or I think 2017 San Diego Comic Con.
Okay, and it was just what, a year or two ago I found those.
Yep.
I was like, man, they've just been sitting around.
That's what's exciting. I'll be able to just like open that box up and display it. So that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna be able to do a proper She-Ra She-Ra display, and I also bought a Crystal Castle shell last time I was up in Portland for like $25, and I am going to, fingers crossed that it works out. But since I can use my, I'm in a place where I can use my Dremel now, and spray paint is a lot easier when you're not like in an apartment. But I'm gonna try to make the original prototype of the Crystal Castle, where instead of like just the doors, it had like an eagle's beak. It was a lot more action oriented, and then they toned it down to make it more friendly to girls. I think it would be more expensive because the way the beak worked was also the elevator to get into the castle. So the beak had to fold up and close up and like basically close on the figure to bring it inside. And I feel like, and there was like a jail cell trap door in it. And I think it wasn't necessarily in the case of that they were like, oh, it's not girl friendly enough. I think it just came down to like, that's going to make it way more than $19.99, which the original Crystal Castle that like my grandmother, she spent a little more because she got it through like the Sears catalog, but it was $19.99 at Walmart in 1985, which does work out to about $70-$80. So anyone complaining about like, wow, Grayskull is so much more expensive, and when it came out, it was like what, $70? It's like, yeah, but that's how much it cost in 1985 money. It's the same with Mask. Everyone's like, it's so expensive. It's like, I did for the Toy Geeks podcast, I did all the research, and all of the toys that it's like $5 difference, $5-$10 difference in the current price as to what the vintage prices were with inflation. So Condor is like what, $30? That was a $10 to $15 toy back in the day. With inflation, that's about right. So no, I'm sorry, it was like 7 to 10. And then the red car was like 15 to 25 depending on the store, which works out to like $50. So
I mean, when did Fright Zone go up? Isn't that soon?
yeah, that it was on the 1st. through Mattel Creations, and I had to get
Ooh.
mine through Big Bad Toy
Oh,
Store.
I already ordered mine. I'm tripping. What else is coming?
But again, Fright Zone's like $90, which works out about right for what that play set is.
Oh, that Skeletor's coming out. That Trolls of Grayskull.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, between that and the mask stuff, I'm just like, ugh. It's gonna be an expensive few months. I may need to tone back my buying for a little bit.
I know I'm done a few things here and there that kind of expensive lately. I'm just waiting for it to show up. I've been ordering stuff from random places and getting random emails.
Right.
Amazon showed me shipped my Thundercats Origins.
Ooh.
Showed me shipped, and it said like one figure was shipped, and it was like 3 of the 4. And now if I look, all of them are not till August 18th.
That's
I was like, why am I getting things saying shipped? And then something else I ordered coming from Japan says now your order is now with USPS. And then it said delivery date was Wednesday this week. And then Tuesday it said arriving a day early. So I was expecting Tuesday, and then I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just wait till Wednesday because it is USPS.
Yeah.
And now I can get to the tracking. It says it's in Tokyo. So I'm like, why am I?
That's odd.
Yeah, and I'm like, how would USPS? I don't know how that works. USPS even have tracking if it's not here? If it isn't?
Usually it does not. Did you order anything else with the item?
No.
Weird.
Yeah. It's from eBay, and I use PayPal, so I should be able to get money back.
Oh, eBay is okay. If it's through eBay and not Amazon. So that one. Often with international shipping, the way it works is at first okay. So yeah, that makes sense if it's an international thing. I've had that happen to me as well for stuff that's coming from like Japan or China. So basically the way all of the shipping works, and especially if it's something where eBay is doing some of the fulfillment, what'll happen is you'll see, so when it leaves the factory to go to like the international shipping place, you'll see that. So like on Tuesday when you're like, it's out for delivery, that was probably it going to the international shipping place. So then they get it and then they enter it in the system to go through customs. And that then resets it so that it's in Tokyo, right? Because it's now at international shipping. It'll then reset and then it'll basically show like in transit, and that means it's probably on a boat on its way over. And then when it gets through customs, it'll probably show delivered, and then it'll show that it's somewhere in the United States, and then it'll actually get into the USPS system. So I've had that happen for a couple of things I ordered from Japan or China.
Yeah, so it might be a little while still.
It will probably be a little while.
No, I had all these things that say shipped. I'm like, oh, expected to hear it there. And I'm like, oh, cool, I got something. Now I got nothing. I'm like,
yeah, and international shipping is, because of tariff stuff, is sometimes weird right now because there are technically certain loopholes that some of these companies can use, but it involves extra shipping. So,
I'm gonna send my Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot with one thing in it just so I have something coming.
And then there'll be something.
Yeah.
All right, really quick. Looks like I just lost my camera. I'll be right back.
Oh, yep. I'm pretty finished up if anybody wants to see that. My own little.
Oh, yeah. The phone, yeah, it's on the phone, and the phone battery died. So.
Oh.
And I can't find my extra phone, but we're at 2 hours, so this is the time we would normally stop anyway.
Yep.
And I just finished, so I'm just going to do it old school style and hold it up. Excellent. Let me make you. I'm going to embiggen you really quick.
I'll hide my face.
Here we go. That looks really good, Cobb.
Yep, just went with my own little style. Can't
And
see
as usual,
that blood on his teeth very well, but it's there.
and as usual, Cobb will take a picture and tag me on Instagram if you're there.
Yeah, I don't think I did last time. My friend at work was like, "Oh, you got pictures on Instagram?" I was like, "I did before." I was like, "I guess I didn't do it last time." So I'll have to remember right now. Yeah.
And then here we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, came out pretty good. The filmation colors work really well here. So.
Oh, I'm just running the other one my boss printed out for me has her email, her name, and everything's here at the top of it.
Yeah, let's not.
Well, no, it's not an actual email. It just says who it's from and everything.
Yeah, crop that out maybe.
I'm glad I went with the blank one. It doesn't have all the info with it.
And CJ says great trap jaw. Also, according to CJ, Wolverine in costume from an anime, and the shipping and tracking was just like that. And thank you, Mint with Card. We're at the 2-hour mark, so we are going to wrap up. And my phone died, which is the camera for here. Oh, I'm touching it like the camera is working still. The camera over here with the page is dead, so that's a sign to go. Kitty. So we are gonna wrap up. Thank you everyone for hanging out. And really quick, Cobb, where can the people find you?
Oh, here on YouTube, Cob Web Collector. Same on Instagram. And that's about it.
Well, that is plenty of places. So good job.
Oh, no Twitter, no Reddit, no nothing else.
Well, nobody should be on Reddit. Sorry, no offense. Reddit's like
I don't even know.
Reddit, in my opinion, is currently the Cybertruck of internet social media sites. Just a dumpster fire. All right, let's see. Really quick, what do we got? All right, so tomorrow we have a short. It's a Golden Girl and Guardians of the Gemstone short. Also, for the people who enjoy the vintage toy booklet videos, Worlds of Barbie Fashions 1982. Sunday, there are a couple things. Number one, there's a short, and it's Care Bears Butterflies Are Fun. And what's exciting about that is that's the last Care Bears short from the 1983 Care Bears coloring book I've been working on for the last year. So check that out because it's the last one. There will be a video later in the month about completing with the full flip through of all the pages and the last full-length video about that. But it will be the last short from that book. And then also on Sunday, I will be here with Mint on card. No, Mint with card. Who's right here in chat. And we're going to be coloring some She-Ra stuff. So, yeah. And again, I appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate Cobb. And thank you for weathering the tech issues earlier. I appreciate it, and Cobb appreciates it.
Oh, thank you for weathering me.
We will.
I need this once in a while.
Yeah, just every so often tech happens. All right. So we're going to head out, and I'm going to leave you with this.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?